While many archery hunters would certainly agree, getting in close to release an arrow at a big game animal is a rush like no other. Most Pennsylvania hunters are accustomed to seeing a 100 to 200 pound whitetail come within bow range, but have never experienced a 500 to 700 pound wild animal bow in hand within 50 yards. This is a totally different experience, as the sheer size of an elk can be overwhelming. That said, we want to do our part to help you understand the best shot placement and time to release an arrow on an elk with archery equipment. In this video, you can see the elk is standing in what we would refer to as broadside. We have outlined the core vital area in red, but there are other things to think through before you release the arrow. Where a lot of archery elk hunters go wrong is by aiming center mass on an elk behind the shoulder. Instead, it's best to keep your aiming point towards the lower third of the elk's body, a few inches behind the back of the front shoulder. For the angle this particular elk is standing, the best aiming point is marked with a small dark circle. There is a rather large area above the lungs and between the spine that if your arrow ends up, chances are you will not recover the animal. A center of the body white reference line is marked to resemble the area to keep your shot placement below. Another very important fact to note is that an elk's shoulder is very thick and difficult to penetrate, no matter how many pounds you're pulling with your bow. If your arrow finds its mark in the shoulder of an elk, chances are you will not recover the animal. This red line represents the back of the front shoulder. Now that you have a solid understanding of the best aiming point, the area highlighted here in blue represents a larger core area that is extremely lethal. If you were to let this elk take a step forward, hit the cow call, and get him to stop, you will see that his left front shoulder is now more forward-facing, opening up a larger area for you to place an arrow in the heart and lung area. Your aiming point should still be set on the lower third, a few inches behind the front shoulder, represented here with the small dark circle. The center mass line on the elk itself is still very important to stay below as well as behind the front shoulder. The most lethal core shot placement area is represented in blue. Remember, it's always best to make sure the animal is stopped before you release an arrow, and only shoot at a distance you are comfortable with. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. We wish you nothing but great success, safety, and lots of great memories made in Pennsylvania's elk country.